Hello, maths fans! Point gradient form of the equation of a straight line is today's topic. So, if you're doing IB, then you can look in your formula book and you'll find in the formula book there are three options for the equation of a straight line. We've got y equals mx plus c, which is otherwise known as the gradient intercept form. Then we've got ax plus by plus d equals 0. This is known as the general form of the equation of a straight line. And what we're going to look at today is this point gradient form. Y minus y1 equals m brackets x minus x1. So the point gradient form. And the reason it's called that is because we're going to have a point, we're going to have a gradient, and we're going to find the equation of a straight line. So it's most useful when we've got that information. If you're given the gradient, you're given a point on the line, choose this form because we can just substitute numbers in there and we end up with a lovely equation of a straight line. Let's see how it works. So, things to note there, m is the gradient. M is the gradient of the line. Then we have a point on the line, x1, y1, and those are the values we stick in here and here. x1, y1, those are the x and y coordinates of the point we're given. Okay. So let's look at an example. What's the equation of a line with a gradient of 4 that passes through the point 5 minus 3? Well, we've got m is 4, so we're going to substitute the number 4 in for m, and we've got an x1 of 5 and a y1 of minus 3, negative 3. So let's substitute those values into this formula. M is 4, x1 is 5, y1 is minus 3. So here we go. We get y minus, and be very careful here because we're substituting in a negative. So y minus minus 3 equals 4 brackets x minus 5. So when we substitute in there, taking away a negative, that's a positive. So we go y plus 3, and then we expand this bracket 4 times x, 4 times minus 5. So we get y plus 3 equals 4x minus 20. We're nearly there. We're just going to tidy this up by taking the 3 away from both sides. And then we get this form here. Y equals 4x minus 23. And actually we end up with a line in the gradient intercept form. Y equals mx plus c. So we've ended up with something with a gradient of 4 and a y-intercept of minus 23. They go very hand in hand, those two. So yeah, simple as that. Very careful with your negatives, that's probably where the mistakes can happen. But substitute your values in for x and y and m, and then do a little bit of basic maths. Rearrange the equation. Let's have a look at another example. So now we're going to bring in a fractional gradient, and we're going to bring in another negative and see how we go. Principle's the same though. We work out m is going to be the half. There's my x, there's my y. Don't mix them up. X comes before y. So there's my values. Let's substitute them in. So the first thing to do is y minus y1. So that's going to be y minus 7. Then we're going to do m. M is a half. Brackets x minus our first x. And again, we've got this subtracting a negative thing here. So before we do anything else, let's just tidy up that subtracting a negative. X minus minus 2, change it to x plus 2. Now we're going to expand the brackets, and we get half times x is half x. Half times 2 is going to be 1. And then we just tidy up. The last thing we do is we get rid of the minus 7 by adding 7 to both sides. So I add 7 here, and I end up with y equals half x plus 8. So that is a line with a gradient of 1/2 and a y-intercept of 8. Okay? So that's it. Be careful with your negatives. Substitute values into this equation. Find m is the gradient. It's x1 and y1 that is your coordinate. not the simple x and the y on their own. Let's have a couple of for you to try now. So using that formula, see if you can find the equation of these two straight lines. So I say pause the video now, have a go at those and see if you get the right answer. So pause the video now. And here is your answer. So for that first one, we substitute in y minus y1, which is 1. 3 is the gradient, brackets x minus x1, which is 5. Multiply out the brackets, tidy it up so you've got all the numbers on one side, and then we have it in the gradient intercept form. So this line would have a gradient of 3, y-intercept of minus 14. The second one, we've got some negatives in there, so be very careful. X minus minus 3, change it to x plus 3. Then we'll multiply out the brackets. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And then we just tidy that one up as well. So we add 5 to both sides, and we get y equals negative 2x minus 1. There we go. There's the form of a line, equation of a line in the point gradient form, or using the point gradient form to find the equation of a line. That's what you just did. Nice one.